everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica, and on today's video I'm doing day 3 of the November 5 days of foundation. And if you haven't seen the other 2 videos, we are doing drugstore foundations this month. And today, if you've seen the thumbnail and the title, I am using the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. So this was, I believe, a collaboration with Alyssa Ashley, I think is her name, Alyssa Ashley, I believe. And they came out with a variety of shades, actually 45 shades. I have it right here on my phone to show you. Oh, well, I can't even show you all the shades. They don't all fit on the screen. But they do have a very wide variety of shades. Like I said, 45. I'm not even using the top shade. I'm using one in. I'm using the shade Light Porcelain, which is fair with neutral undertones. But this is what we're going to be using today. I've heard mixed reviews on this. I've heard good reviews. I've heard bad reviews. You know, it's all very unique to everyone's own skin, I guess. But before I get started, I'm going to tell you I used the Smashbox Photo Finish So Chill Coconut Primer Water, and then I used the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer on my skin. And I'm going to go ahead and read to you from the NYX website the description of this product. It says it's lightweight, waterproof, and pigmented AF. Our new Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation hustles as hard as you do. This comfy liquid formula comes in 45 flattering tones that don't transfer. I'm going to be very curious about that because I hate transferring foundations. It's very annoying. Every creamy shade glides on smooth, delivering matte coverage and color that stays true for up to 24 hours. I'm not going to wear this for 24 hours. I'm going to wear it for 8 hours. Our little overachiever also works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day long, but it doesn't stop there. This foundation is non-comedogenic, and suitable for normal, oily, combination, and sensitive skin types. So not dry. So if you have dry skin, this is not the foundation for you. All right. It is retailing for $15. So let's go ahead and get this on. I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender on my left side of my face and the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Flat Top Buffing Foundation number 6 on the right side of my face today. I have not done anything with this. I have not pumped any out. The top did come disconnected from the rest of the bottle in shipping. So there's that. I did order this from Ulta. I believe it was Ulta. I'm pretty sure. I know it wasn't Sephora, so odds are it was Ulta. So I'm going to pump 3 pumps onto my hand. That looks like it might actually be a little bit too pale, but there it is. I'm going to start with my brush on the right hand side of my face. So we'll just get a little bit of this on the brush and get this all around and then blend. And this does look like it's probably going to be a little bit too pale unless it blends in darker than this shade. All right, y'all, I am not liking the way that this is sitting on my skin with the brush. All right, I gotta zoom you in and show this to you because this is just really weird. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but look at my nose. And then back here on my cheek. And I don't normally have that with a brush. Typically, I usually like the way the brush looks better than a sponge. Especially with this primer. This is one of my best primers. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and apply the... I actually still have quite a bit on my hand. Let's see if I can build it up a little bit. And see if that helps. All right, so it doesn't look like it's buildable, at least on my skin, but it's doing some really weird stuff. I mean, look at that. And I don't have super sensitive skin, but my skin is stinging. All right, I'm going to go ahead in with the Beauty Blender and do the other side of my face. Hopefully with the Beauty Blender, I'll get a better finish. And then I'll go back over the brush side with the Beauty Blender. Look, keep your fingers crossed. Okay, so I underestimated the shade range. It's definitely pale, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about the shade. I'm not worried about that. And I will tell you that over here on this side of my face, I definitely have a better finish on this side with the Beauty Blender. So I'm going to go back over this side again with the Beauty Blender to see if the Beauty Blender is helping with the finish. My forehead is still looking really weird, even with the Beauty Blender. On this portion right here, it is still looking really weird though. Even going over it with the Beauty Blender, I think it just dried too quickly. You can still see in here, I'm hoping the camera is picking this up, because you can still see in here, the nose, it's sort of fixed, the nose. But over here on my cheek, it still looks like it's in every single pore, which is so weird. I don't know. I can't remember that I've had a foundation look like this. Like I said, I know it's a little bit pale. That's fine. We'll deal with that. But I don't know. Like, I don't feel like this is full coverage. I think it's called full coverage, right? Full coverage. A lot of my redness is still coming through here on my center of my face. And I tried to build it up, and it did not appear that it was buildable at all, with the brush at least. I didn't try to build it up with the sponge, but I'm getting that really weird texture in portions of my face where it's just like grasping on every single like pore. Get a little bit more on my sponge for my nose, because it's just having an issue sitting on my nose, and I know my nose is a problem area. I don't always have the best of luck with getting foundations to sit on my nose. My puppy dog wants to be on screen. You want to come up? Come on. Say hello. This is Wednesday. Say hello. Don't lick my face. I just put makeup on. I love you. Down you go. Okay. Okay, I'm not real pleased with this right now. Let's go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on. It is 10:05. This says it's transfer proof. And it does not look like it's transferring. So I think I'm going to skip powdering this. Is that a mistake? I'm going to use just whatever's left on my brush and try to bring it down my neck a little bit. It might be a mistake not to powder this, but I don't think I'm going to, just because of the weird texture that I've got going on. Like, my forehead looks so dry right now. And I don't have dry skin. My skin is actually still a little bit more on the oily side. Like I said, it's like combo normal more than anything. It gets drier in the winter, but it gets oilier in the summer. So right now it's still warm. It's actually it's supposed to be in the 80s today outside. And I'm probably going to be sweating at some point. Yeah, I'm not going to put any powder on this. I am going to go ahead and put the rest of my face makeup on though. So we're going to call 10:15 the check-in time. I think that was the time yesterday too, right? So like 2:15 and then 6:15. All right, I'm going to go put on some makeup. I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so the time is 10:27 and I was done with my face makeup by 10:15. I, started my eye makeup a little bit before 10:15. So on my face, I have the Hoola Light Bronzer on my cheeks, the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Party, the NYX Love You So Mochi eyeshadow palette. I just dipped into the peach primarily, and then I did put a little bit of the gold, but this highlighter is mostly just glitter. Not my favorite. Okay, on my eyes, I have the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. On my lids, I used two NYX palettes that I own. I have this one, In Your Element, which is the Earth. Looks like this, if you haven't seen it. But I used the Earth palette, and then I used the NYX Pro Filter palette. This is in All of You. From All of You, I have this shade here. These don't have names. I have this shade here, the cream shade, all over my lid. And then I have this shade here, this green one, and then this green one here on my lids. And then from the Earth palette, actually I only used one shade from here. I thought I used more than one, but I only ended up using this peach shade here in my crease and then along my lower lash line. I thought I had used more, but I didn't. And then I have the Doll 10 Illegal Eyes mascara on, and this lipstick was not what I was expecting. This is what the package looks like, shade-wise. You guys can see that. It says that it is Glossy Deep Berry, but it looks more of like a purpley shade than what's on my lips. And then even when you take it out of the package and pull it up, it's even deeper than how it ended up on my lips. So when I opened this, I was quite surprised. Was not expecting that. But it's on there now and it's fine. Okay, so I did not powder this because I don't feel like it needs powdered. But it looks like I powdered it. You already zoomed in, so I can't bring it in any further, but I'm looking in my mirror down here. My nose still looks weird. Like, can you see that? I mean, it's better than it was, but it still looks weird. My forehead right along here, right along my hairline, looks a little weird, like right in here. It just, this is making my skin look older. I don't like that my skin looks older in this. I feel like though that it looks older. This might be a foundation that looks better throughout the day though. So definitely gonna be wearing it for at least 8 hours. Like I said, about 2:15 and then again about 6:15 I'll be checking in. It could get better throughout the day as my natural oils come in, which I've definitely had with some matte foundations before. Yeah, I'm not real sure about this foundation just yet. Not real sure. All I know is that it looks really weird on my nose and I don't like that. So, all right, I will check with you guys at about 2:15. I will see you then. All right, everybody, it is midday. I am checking in a little bit early because I have a conference call at 2 o'clock, so I'm not gonna be able to check in at 2:15, but I am checking in at 1:40, so 1:39, 1:40. So about a half an hour early, a little over half an hour early for my midday check-in, but like I said, I've got a conference call at 2 o'clock that I need to be on, so yeah, there's that. Okay. So let's look at the foundation. I am outside in natural light. I'm going to step into the sun here for a second, although that always seems to wash me out. So we're going to go back into the shadow. Still natural light, just shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things. I'm going to show you a really good close-up of my cheek, which is where I was having that weird texture issue over here with this. My nose, chin, my forehead, which that seems to have cleared itself up. So I think my forehead's looking better. Sorry, Neil just walked outside, so I had to stop talking for a minute. Overall, I said earlier that I think that this is probably a foundation that looks better throughout the day, and I will stick by that. I think it definitely looks better than it did 3.5 hours ago. Although the nose, like, look at that. It's like in every single pore still, right? And even though it looks better than it did earlier, there's just that weird texture piece to it. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. It just really... My chin looks okay, but it is cracked. Anyway, I do agree though that this does make my skin look older than it did earlier. I don't think that has changed at all. And that weird texture thing on my cheek is really bothering me. Just right in here. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, get ready for my call, and I will see you guys at about 6:15. All right, everybody. It is the end of the night and I am way later than I thought I was going to be. It is 7:29, so I'm over 9 hours at this point, which is okay. It's okay. I already have you zoomed in, and there's a couple of spots on this foundation that I'm really not liking. Number one, right there around my nose, it's super caked in there. It looks very dry, very crusty. It looks gross. This side of my nose, it's definitely caked in there, but it's not as settled in, if that makes sense. I'm looking down here in my mirror. It's definitely broken up a little bit on my chin. Basically, it's just from my skin. I mean, I am a very expressive person, and I smile a lot, and I move my face around a lot. And, you know, as expressive as I am, I move my chin around. So if I'm smiling or frowning, you know, I move my face around a lot. So it is cracked a little bit on my chin. The weird texture that I was getting on my cheek here, I looked at the video from the Midday Check In. It doesn't look like it was able to pick it up, and I don't think this camera is picking it up either. It just looked like it was in every single little pore on the side of my cheek, and that has sort of gone away as the day has gone on. This side looks okay. I think the front of my nose looks okay. I think my forehead looks powdery. And again, that's one of those things where I'm not sure. I just don't think the camera is picking up the texture of this the way it looks in person. And that's what I'm kind of struggling with, is that I'm seeing things that I don't think the camera's picking up. Like the texture in my cheek, and, you know, I think the camera's picking up the foundation around my nose. But even on my forehead, it looks super powdery, and I did not powder this foundation. Now, let's see. You know, I've worn it throughout the day. It's been warm. And it says transfer proof, but there is a small hint of transfer specifically on this hand. And I don't know that the camera's going to pick it up because it is just the slightest little bit, not a lot. I mean, it's just a hint of foundation is transferring. So I have to give it props for that. It is very good. It actually is very close to being non-transfer. I don't know what they put into it to make it not transfer, but it's probably only right behind the Too Faced Peach Perfect in non-transferability. If Too Faced can get their act together and provide a foundation that is actually light enough and not peach undertoned, I might actually buy like 10 bottles of that stuff, because I love that, the fact that it's that transfer proof. Anyway, I'm off topic. Back to the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I'm just not really liking the finish of this. What I've actually been thinking about all day is what the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop would look like mixed with the Flower Light Illusion, because this is super matte, this is illuminating. And the Light Illusion's too dark, and the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop is too light. So I'm curious what these two mixed together would look like. I definitely like the finish of the Light Illusion a lot better than the finish on the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. So I'm definitely going to try that at some point during the month to figure out if that combination actually works really well. I will let you know in the wrap-up video at the end of the month. Anyway, that's my first impression of the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Not my favorite foundation. About the only good thing I can say about it is that it doesn't transfer. I did not have to powder it. I did actually spray my face down with the primer water again after I turned off the camera the first time. So I even sprayed this down and it still looks very powdery. So yeah, there are some things that I like about it. The non-transferability, I think it looks pretty good, like on the front part of my cheeks. I don't know. I think I'm just stretching at this point. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell to notify you when I do upload new videos. And if you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below as well. I would love to read them. I do try to respond to every single comment within a day or so of you guys leaving me a comment. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye!